Hey guys, today I'm going to be analysing a squat and a deadlift off of a Reddit user. So he got in touch and asked if I'd do it, and of course I'm offering this for free, so I was more than happy to do this for him. So let's have a little look. Very nice bar path. Yeah, these are looking really nice. I can see where there might be a few tweaks I want to do. I just want to let the squats run so everyone can see. Now it's a little hard to tell, but I would suspect you're a little high in terms of depth. So if you're looking to compete in powerlifting, you definitely need to go lower. If you're training purely for strength, the necessity to go much lower is a bit debatable. So I'm going to go with the former. We're looking at powerlifting. That's my background, and I do think there is a lot of credit to be given for powerlifting depth for many different reasons I'm not going to bother going into, but this is my approach as to why I think we should get a bit more depth. So it looks like we're bang on parallel. It is a little difficult to tell, the spotter bar's in the way. But I would argue I want to see that hip crease get a little bit lower so that it's beneath your knee there. So I'm talking maybe 2 inches, maybe a 1/3 inch maximum to drop down a little further. Now, what I think you're going to struggle with when that happens is possibly a bit of internal rotation with your feet. So I'm tempted to give you 2 options here. Either push your knees out harder, or perhaps stand a little bit wider. When I say a little bit wider, I do mean a little bit. So don't exaggerate it too much if you try that wider stance. Yeah, I think this kind of feeds back into my first point of I want you getting lower, and I think you tend to lose a bit of tension in the bottom of your squat. I just want to see a bit more control there. So what tends to happen is you hit the bottom and knees just want to almost collapse in a little bit. Again, it's hard to tell because we're on the side, but this is what I think is happening. And because of that, we're losing tension in the bottom. So I want you to actively push your knees out. There's a few different cues we can go through. I'll give you all of them. Take which one that resonates best with you. So you can screw your feet into the floor. So quite literally, imagine these are your feet. You're going to screw them into the floor. You can look to open up your hips. Push your knees out via your hips, or simply just the cue knees out might be enough to stop your knees coming in, and also seeing that little bit of movement come from your feet through a lack of tension. So a bit more control into the bottom portion of your squat and making sure you're pushing your knees out, I think is going to help you. Yeah, especially on that squat actually. I'm just going to rewind that real quick. I think it's really shown, and this could be down to fatigue as well, but I think fatigue is highlighting my point. So watch this squat. Just a real, quite subtle shift in your knees when you hit that bottom portion of your squat. So on a little bit of a slower descent, and then look to bang yourself out at the bottom of the squat, really explosive. Now do bear in mind, I am being very picky because you have a really nice squat, but I think that will help improve your squat, those couple pointers there for you. And there's one more thing I'm going to be a bit picky about. Again, because you've got a really nice squat, I think I'm just going to make these minor tweaks for you. You have a tendency to push your hips back first before you drop down. I would rather you look to push your hips back and drop down, rather than push your hips back, then drop down. So look out for this when I play your next squat. Hips back, then down. It's subtle, it's subtle. It's not going to make an enormous difference, but I think it will make enough of a difference. Really nice squatting. Let's have a look at your deadlift. It's a really nice deadlift. You know, your lifting is very good. So I'm being very picky when I give you your tweaks. I want to see a bit of a tighter setup. So when I say a tighter setup, basically I want you to look to use the bar to pull yourself down. It's almost like you haven't quite got there, you're about an inch away, and you're just missing out on that extra bit of tension, which is going to help keep your spine in more like a column. Now, I'm not overly fussed by how much you're bending out through your spine. Let's just have another look, see, when you're in your starting position. It's a very minor bit of flexion, but I think we can get rid of it and you will benefit from that. So using the bar, you're going to pull yourself down in. So I just think we're losing a bit of tension here, which in turn is passing itself down, and you're not able to get as much tension via your lower back and your erectors as you could if you get more tension through your back. So once again, you're going to pull yourself down into the bar, and just notice how I'm just going to straighten my back out, and I want to see that happen with yourself there. So otherwise we're going to get a bit of an energy leak via your back. I want to see rib cage directly over your hips, so you create a column of strength rather than bending out enough to have a bit of an energy leak. Bit tighter on this next rep. Can see your lats are a bit more engaged. I want to see that further to help you engage through your lats and pull yourself down into it a little bit more. Like I said, you're not that far off. That's all I've got to say. It's a really nice deadlift. All you need to do now is keep grinding, keep adding weight. Well done. I hope that's been of help. I hope it all makes sense. And if anyone else out there is interested in me going through your lifts, any of the big three, the squat, the bench, and or the deadlift, send them my way and I'll put this together for yourself. Thanks for watching.